What's up, creepers and geekers? Chris at the Atari Creep. How's everyone doing today? Now, this is an email I got the same day we did the video on the Sega Genesis Mini. I just felt the Sega Genesis Mini was more important at the time, plus all the stuff with the computer, and I just wanted to play around with it. And then we did that live stream last night, which went pretty well. I mean, I didn't do very well playing the games because I had to use the keyboard to play them, but we'll be rectifying that pretty soon. So, I figured now is as good a time as any to talk about the Atari VCS yet again. So they're talking about structural improvements here. Let me pull this up. Let me pull this up for you. We're not going to go over the whole posting. This was a link that came in an email. It's on medium.com. I'll try to link it down below. And they're talking about changing up the design aspect of it slightly. Again, we're not going to look at every little aspect of this updated article, blog, whatever you want to call it. We're going to just point out a few things. I'll let you read the article yourself. And, of course, leave comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure I already know what most people think, but I'm starting to get even a little bit more nervous here. They're chomping at the bit now with this whole changing things. You know, it's a little late for that for now, at least in my opinion. But either way, Atari VCS structural improvements, feature adjustments. Okay, so the comprehensive overview of the updated industrial design architecture. So we got a picture here of what we've already seen a bajillion times, and they go on here to talk about, you know, our backers know we probably triumphed a new iconic design based off the original VCS, blah, 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 a little futuristic, and they're talking about how it's built in layers like a fucking ogre, and that's really all there is to it there. So here we have Meet the production-ready VCS Collector's Edition in Onyx. And again, it's nothing we haven't seen before. There may be some slight changes to it. It almost looks a little fatter. And I do know that they put USB ports in the front this time. And you do see that clearly at the bottom of either side of the console, if you look close enough. Then they just go on to show other beauty shots here. And I find it interesting that they say meet the production ready. And then down here it says these are, you know, collector's edition design, blah, blah, blah. But over here they talk about it being, you know, render stand-ins for the newest Atari VCS pre-production units that the engineering team will be receiving shortly. We will share plenty of photos of the actual units as soon as we have them in the lab. This is shit that should have already been done. We should have already had plastic molded up for this thing. Whether or not the boards were ready or whatever, something physically should have already been done by now. And I guess I'm just kind of beating a dead horse with this, but I told you, anytime we got a little update, I'd come on here and talk about it. So, in the meantime, eagle-eyed fans should immediately notice several subtle differences from the original Atari VCS design that has been shared previously. What you can't tell from these renderings, here, let me highlight that so you know where the fuck I'm at. What you can't tell from these renderings is that the construction has been completely overhauled. The construction of it has been completely overhauled. Oh, okay. Whatever. I'm not going to finish reading that. The Atari VCS now echoes the original 2600 even more than before. So, visually speaking, all right, so they just talk about its aesthetics. They show a picture of it with a 4-switch Woody. Okay, so technically we're in 2600 realm here, not necessarily VCS. Somewhere, I know, it was the Vader that came out with the 2600, but they're proud of their front-facing USB ports, and that's cool. I get it, and that's really all there is to it. Again, more rendering, no physical anything. With the 2 USB accessory ports in the front, the 2 back ports remain free for external hard drives and other less frequently accessible hookup kind of deals. Okay, this is why they're talking about that. They removed the SD slot. Now, I don't know if they did that because they didn't want to infringe on anything. They didn't want to imply piracy of some sort. But I know for a fact there's a handful of people that were still kind of on board with this, that that's going to fuck with. Rear SD slot removed. Rearranging the ports made other things. Oh my god, the SD port was redundant. And I guess in a way they're right, but don't try to blow smoke up my ass about something that you're changing out. I don't know. Why don't they just say we chose not to do it for reasons? But they're going to sit there and tell you it's in your benefit and whatever. So the white Fuji logo on the Onyx indicator light. Okay, that's a cool look. So now we go down to the actual construction pictures. And apparently, the original concept from 2007 contained of 16 individually layers, plus the front and rear housing. The assortment of 18 parts include 7 common rings, 9 unique enclosure rings. This thing is complicated to fucking put together. Now, why they decided to make it like this, I don't know. I don't know. This is nothing truly new, but it just means that there's going to be so much new tooling to do because of the updates. Just a simple, let's just move this hole here and get rid of this hole here, isn't as simple as just removing the holes. You need tooling. The big machines to actually mold these things up. And this thing's going to be molded in like multiple tools. I mean, it's so much easier to make 2, 3, maybe even 4 little pieces. And they're talking about 10 plus tools to make one console. No wonder the damn thing's so damn expensive. So here's another rendering of how it's going to be put together and, clammed together and all this crap. And then we have some dimensions here if you really care about that. And then they tell us there's a lot more to come. So with all that, let me close this out. Again, go ahead and read the article yourself. I'm half awake, so I probably didn't do any of that justice. But the main point to get to here is they're not even ready to put this thing together. They called it ready. But they should have already had something physically put together. Whether it was working or not, that's another argument for past videos and future videos. But they should have at least had something physical to play with, a prototype, And they're not even talking about that even happening. And now they're changing the entire fucking DNA of the machine. Guys, this thing's going to take forever to come out, and it's going to be so expensive for them to produce. People are losing interest. They've already got $3 million of people's money. A lot of that's tied into litigation. Crazy stuff. And I feel bad for anyone who backed it, who not necessarily didn't have the money, but one of those people like me, if they had saved up for it, like with the Intellivision Amico, I'm going to be saving up for it. I'm going to be putting $10 here, $5 there. When it comes out, I'll have the money for it. I have to do it that way by the nature of, my situation. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who couldn't truly afford this thing, but were so fucking hot up. They were just, and when I say hot up, I mean they had a fucking raging boner to buy this thing, and they fought the $300-400 for all the crap. Atari just keeps ghosting on them, keeps changing things. At this point, there's some people talking that's a scam and it's never going to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't come out. I'm not calling it a scam. I think they just bit off more than they could chew, and I think they're biting at the wire now. They're chomping at that bit, and I think they're a little nervous, but they're changing things, and that's kind of disconcerting either way. So I don't know. I pretty much know how everyone else feels about this, but with this new news, what are your thoughts? Okay, what are your thoughts on this moving forward now that they're changing not only its DNA, but they're changing its physical structure and all the tooling that's going to be involved just to put this one little machine that's probably would fit right here on my keyboard. I don't know. So guys, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Either way, thumbs up, thumbs down, all feedback to the Creep is positive. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you have a great start to your week. We have some gorgeous weather out there. I think I'm going to spend some time outdoors. I don't know what I'll do. I'm not an outdoors kind of guy unless I'm camping. But either way, guys, I hope you did have a great weekend. Thanks as always for coming by and watching. And until next time, take care, creep it real, and bye-bye.